The 774th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code MMASGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. And we're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 per month on your sports gambling transactions. Just go to edgeboost.bet and use promo code SGPN. And finally, we're brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Rhythm is giving away a $250 future and throwing a March Madness party. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party for all the details.
Howdy ho, Degenerinos. Welcome to episode 774 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Rick V92C Mountaineers. What a catchy name on YouTube for saying great job, guys. Thank you, Rick. And thank you for not trying to ask us to deposit crypto for you or something like the two comments before I did. They really appreciate our efforts, though, those people. Thanks for coming to the show. This is our last regional event of the week, KSW 104. I'm one of the hosts of the episode. They call me High IQ Jeff Fox. I got Daniel Gumby of Vreeland riding shotgun. He's making all the winning plays. And we're doing KSW. We're going to Poland, so you know it's going to be a lot of fun for me saying these names. This is a Saturday event as well, 3 p.m. Eastern, so you're going to be busy all day long because we just finished 2 events starting at noon. Now you got this one at 3, and then this will lead you right up until the UFC in the evening. You got a busy weekend. And I think we did some Thursday episodes coming up this week. We already did, but they're going to be fighting this week. And Friday episodes. So yeah, you guys are going to be busy with your Degen betting and MMA. Gumby, KSW. Do you like this event? You like?
Yeah, I mean, I like all KSW events. They do a good job of giving you fights where you're like, I can't even imagine these two dudes fighting each other. Some of them like carbon copies of each other. Some of them just wild style matchups, and they've always been good at that too, giving us a little bit of I don't want to call it like pure freak show fights, but like a little bit of freak show fights. I interviewed the owner a while back, a real while back. I guess it's probably like 7 years ago now. But when I interviewed him, he was like, yeah, we want to give people things that make them go, what the hell are they doing? And they do a pretty good job of that time and time again. This one, maybe not got the like name value as you might expect on some of these, right? Like there's some names you come to expect to see on some of these cards, the, Phil DeVries and the Pujanowskis and the those types. But, this is still a really fun card anyway.
There you go. And at the very least, it's going to be a bunch of challenging names for Jeff to say, because we have found one of my many Achilles heels is Polish names, apparently. So Gumby just said all the names, actually, but off air, as we were making sure we had the similar order, and yet I'm going to forget. Szymański, I think I remember, is one of the names, right? Or I remember some of these fun names. Nope. Szczepaniak. That's
there it is.
Yes,
it's not the Szczepaniak we typically talk about. This one's Oscar instead of Arthur. Yeah, we usually talk about Arthur, King Arthur Szczepaniak.
Right.
This one's Oscar.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. You just wait for that. It's March, people. Make sure you're gearing up for all the madness of March. In our merch store, we are running a special discount code right now. Madness is your code. 20% off in our merch store at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. 20% off. You can get it now before the promo code is done. Get all our new cool SGPN Degen hats and all our MMA Gambling Podcast gear. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, code madness. All right, let's go to Poland, shall we? It is, as I said, Saturday, 3 p.m. KSW 104, Gorzów, Poland. You can watch it at KSW. They run their own pay-per-views. 10 fights in the Arena Gorzów. I think capacity is about 5,000 there. I checked. The Octagon one we covered yesterday, 15,500 is the capacity where they're running. So they are running some big arenas. We're starting things off. Topology has all these fights in order, and we have odds for you. So everything's coming up Millhouse this one. A couple Polish fighters fighting at lightweight. Roman Szymański versus Maciej Kazieczko. How did I do? Kazieczko. Yeah, close enough. You always have to, even if I'm close, you always have to correct it. I gotcha. Kazieczko, we'll tell you about first. 9-4 with 6 knockouts. Knocked out twice, submitted once. 8-4 in KSW. He's lost 2 straight, and he's gone 2-3 over his last 5. Got TKO'd in his last fight. He's not won since November 2022. 4 inches, 2 inches reach over Szymański, plus 175. Szymański is 17-9, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out 4 times, submitted once. 9-6 in KSW. He has lost 3 straight. Before that, he had won 4 straight. He's not won since January 2023. He's regional champ, or was. Used to fight at 145. 2012 pro MMA debut, minus 250.
I'm going to take a stab on an underdog right out the gate. I'm going to take Kazieczko. I think the thing for me is that both of these guys can tend to be a little bit gun shy on the feet. Kazieczko is the type of guy who marches forward and like gets a lot of feints that like get reactions out of his opponents, but then he doesn't capitalize on them enough, with the exception of he rips the legs a lot. He really likes a leg kick. I think it's just like a, one of those things he's not really worried about being countered all that much. And with Szymański, like, I think he's a favorite here because he's wrestled in the past, but he's also a guy who, when he's on his back foot, it's a lot harder to do. And also, like, he's another one who's just like kind of looked for counters and again, maybe just not pulled the trigger as much as he could. And as a result, like, sort of had to wrestle late. And if his leg is getting ripped apart and he's backing up all the time, it's going to be harder for him to hit those takedowns late in the fight, which is typically when he likes to do it. So I think Kazieczko is going to be the one scoring early and often here. Szymański also just like, a guy who I've seen get tagged once in a while. And Kazieczko, if somebody does go to him into finally just like letting go and brawling, I like what I see. Maybe it's not the most technical, but he like does generate a lot of power. He moves his head enough so it's not just like sitting on a line ready to, like be eating counters in a brawl, which again, like I said before, is kind of what Szymański wants to do, is he wants to hit you with those counter shots. So I kind of like Kazieczko. I think he's going to pick him apart enough with the kicks. I think he's going to defend the takedowns. And I think plus 175 is kind of a steal for him. So I'll go Kazieczko out the gate here. Nice.
Dog coming out of the gate again, just like yesterday's episode. Beautiful. Another Polish battle, another Maciej involved as well. Bartosz Leśko versus Maciej Różański. 3 5-minute rounds, 205. Tell you about I'm going to tell you about Leśko first. 14-5-2. 2 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted once. 3-3 in KSW, 1-2 over his last 3, 3-4 over his last 7. He did win his last fight. He's fed at 185, 2015 pro MMA debut. 7 years younger than Różański, 2 inches of reach on him, plus 175. Różański's Spartan, 15-5, 2 knockouts, 9 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. 1-0 in KSW, 1-2 over his last 3, 5-2 over his last 7. He did win his last fight though. 1-2 at Bellator. He's a regional champ, or was. Used fed at 185. 2008 pro MMA debut, minus 250.
Yeah, I'm going to go Różański here. Negative 250, maybe a touch steep for me, because like these guys, there are a couple of big, huge guys who are just going to throw toe-to-toe, and they're going to throw toe-to-toe right up until the point where Różański realizes there's no reason to do this and I can just take him down. Because Różański's got a really nice double leg takedown. He's got, really smart top game where he's not risky. He just stays in position. He drops the ground and pound. And Leśko being as stationary as he is, like I said, these guys not bouncing on their feet. They're not like, they are very, very, very much plotting types. Like he's just going to be there to be taken down, in my opinion. And then on top of that too, like if you need another reason to get behind Różański, like Leśko is a 185 pounder. Yes, his last fight did come at 205, where he got out grappled by Dominic Umberger, which, like, Umberger is legit. I'm pretty sure they just got him in the Tip Sport Game Changer, if I'm not crazy. Like, I think Octagon stole him from KSW and got him on over there. But like Leśko couldn't deal with the grappling of him, and he's an 185 pounder. And Leśko has fought largely at 185 pounds. And now he's going to have to deal with a big, muscly 205er who wants to grapple the hell out of him. I don't think that goes well for him. So I'm going to take Różański here, being that they're both two like big plotting heavy punchers, and Różański might not look to wrestle immediately. Maybe negative 250 feels a little steep for me, but at the end of the day, like I do think he wins. So.
All right. That's all that matters. Who is going to win in the end? All right. I haven't told you about anything yet, have I? Let me tell you about some stuff. Shall I? Edge Boost. SGPN has partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. An Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having your card denied at the sportsbook, DFS site, sweepstakes site, racetrack, or casino. Plus, you can earn up to $750 per month any cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. And you know your money is safe. This card is FDIC insured. The best part is no credit checks, and it's completely free. So sign up today and use the promo code SGPN so you get better cashback rewards and instant tier 2 status so you can make plays on Kyle Filipowski and Al Horford and MMA stuff as well, of course. It's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN, edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And we're brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet every sport, plus props for every game and the live dealer casino. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposits and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Obviously, you're going to want to make Al Horford plays there as well. But they got MMA lines. So head to mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $10 casino chip. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. All right, we're on to some female fighters, women's strawweights. Ewelina Woźniak, who we've discussed at least once, I think maybe twice. She's from Poland. Marina Monteiro from Brazil. 3 5-minute rounds at strawweight. I will tell you about Woźniak first. She's the Mad Queen. She's 8-3, 2 knockouts, 4 submissions. She's been submitted twice. 1-1 in KSW. Loss, win, loss over her last 5. A regional champion. Used fight at 125. 2 inches of height over Monteiro, plus 140. Monteiro is 5-0, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. This is her debut in KSW. She's fight at 125, 2 inches of reach over Woźniak, 8 years younger, minus 200.
Yeah, minus 200 on Monteiro. No, you mean
it's the other way around. Do I have it swapped?
Wozniak's got to be the favorite, right? I had Woźniak written down as the favorite. I would be shocked if Woźniak was not.
Yes, I'm sorry. I had those lines switched. Okay. Woźniak minus 200, Monteiro plus 140.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, it's great. And like, Monteiro's got the undefeated record, which is the only reason why this number is as low as it is on Woźniak, because I before I saw odds, sort of expected her to be in the 300s or 400s here. And you're getting a tremendous value on Woźniak. I think the money line's in play here. I think she'd be a great boost to a lot of parlays. She's a grinder. If you go back and you watch her losses, they are 2 good fighters. She lost to Ivana Petrovic at 125. And in that fight, she was the person dominating the physical positions early in that fight. And like we know, Petrovic is really good in the clinch, on the ground, in the wrestling department. And Woźniak was winning that fight in the first round. Now, she did tire out a little bit, and clearly the muscle and size of Petrovic began to take over. You know, we've seen Petrovic fight at 135 pounds at body women, and now Woźniak is going to be down to 115. And there to greet her is Monteiro, who swings absolutely wild. Like, I watched a couple of her like Brazilian, regional level fights, and she's in there with women who don't have any idea about their defensive striking, and she is just winging them. And that's all well and good, and it's gotten her as far as it has. But like, is she going to be able to do that with somebody who is just going to crowd her and take all of her space away? And I haven't really seen a ton of her grappling. She prefers to strike. Maybe she's good at jiu-jitsu too. But even if she is, like, Woźniak has stayed sort of safe her whole career unless she's in like a really bad position. I don't see Monteiro being the type who's going to supper off of her back without like showing me she's ever done anything like that. So I think Woźniak here is the clear-cut favorite for me. I think we're going to see that grinding style come into play, and I think she should win this one easy. So give me Woźniak minus 200. Definitely not steep enough.
All right. Co-main event time. Oskar Szczepaniak, who we discussed earlier. He's from Poland. Tymoteusz Łopaczyk. What's it? How do you say his first name?
Łopaczyk.
Łopaczyk. How do you say his first name?
Tymoteusz.
As you can tell by my butchering of the language, these are both Polish fighters. They're fighting at 170. They're fighting 3 5-minute rounds if necessary. The Polshik is Honey Badger, another Honey Badger. There's a lot of Honey Badgers kicking around, even in Poland. He is 12-3, 6 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 1-0 in KSW. He's won 4 straight and 5 of 7. Has not lost since November 2021. Used to fight at 185 and 205. He's at plus 105. Szczepaniak, 7-1 with 3 knockouts. I said it Italian. Never been finished in a fight. 4-1 KSW. He's won 4 straight. He's not lost since February 2022. Used to fight at 155. 3 years younger. 2 inches height, 2 inches reach over. Łopaczyk minus 138.
Yeah, I'm going Szczepaniak here. I think for me, I was kind of surprised this one was as close as it was too. Maybe you want to squish him and Woźniak together in a parlay and get a really good return on this because I really like Szczepaniak's style. He comes from, if he doesn't come from a karate background, man, does it look like he's adopted one. Hands low, really rangy. When you add in the fact that he's going to have 2 inches of height and 2 inches of reach, like I think that's going to play really well for him. He's got a really nice head kick. KO power, a lot of things to like about him. And maybe the line is as close as because Łopaczyk likes to wrestle a little bit. And he is so physically strong. Like he's one of those guys who just like uses every ounce of strength he has, whether for good or bad. And a lot of times it's bad. I've seen him grapple and he he picks up a guy, goes to slam him and like sort of over rotates his body to the point where he gets like immediately swept or reversed in position. And then he's on the bottom despite being the one doing the slamming. And you could see a similar thing when he rips to grab somebody's arm to put him in an Americana. Like his weight is all, misdistributed. And as a result, he gets swept kind of easy. And so like he's so overzealous with his strength and overzealous in his power that he often gives up positions. And I think that could be a real problem here against Szczepaniak. Because first of all, it's going to be hard to close the distance on Szczepaniak. He has been very good at picking people apart from range and very good at staying light on his feet and staying away from those clinch situations. And then second of all, if you overswing on him, the chances that he's going to hit you with like a head kick when you're off balance or, a right hand to the chin when you're not quite ready for it is really high. And so I think Łopachyk's strength here is why the number is as close, but I think his strength is also probably his undoing here. So I'm going to take Szczepaniak here. I like the low number on him. He's definitely one I got circled as being a, KSW doesn't usually send guys to the UFC. If they did, Szczepaniak is the type of guy they would probably be interested in. Like fun, young striker, likes it from range, nice head kick, highlight reels, all that kind of stuff. And who knows, like maybe he will, shoot up these KSW rankings instead. But yeah, he's a guy who I think you can keep an eye on.
Yeah, most guys would probably have to take a pay cut to go to the UFC unless
at least
really were. Yeah, exactly. All right, before we get to the main event, Rhythm is throwing an epic March Madness party, and you're invited. All Rhythm users are invited to a first 4 watch party Wednesday, March 19th at the awesome Stadium Swim at Circa Las Vegas. Free drinks, plus you get to hang out with the guys from the Sports Gambling Podcast and the College Experience. And it gets better. Rhythm is also giving away a $250 March Madness future for one lucky random Rhythm user. Even if you can't make the party, you can still enter the contest. So sign up for your 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. That's Rhythm, RITHMM. And come by and use Rhythm to help fill out your bracket and make some bets while you're there. Free party plus a chance at a $250 future bet. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party for details. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. And Underdog Fantasy, NBA, NHL, college basketball, whatever your sport, you can cash in big with Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. Underdog is offering a Luka Doncic discount for every Lakers game for the rest of the regular season. Also, for football diehards, Pick'em projections for select players, 40-yard dash times, Jordan Speaks NFL Combine. Gumby, a play for the people.
Yeah, we've been doing basketball and doing rebounds all week on this show, so I'm going to stick with it. The Bulls, they play the Cavaliers on Tuesday when this is getting in your ears. This is going to be a blowout. It's going to be a bad blowout. The Cavaliers will win this game by 40. So I'm going to say get in on Zach Collins's rebounds. He has been filling in admirably for the injured Nikola Vucevic. Even if Vucevic is back for this one, you're going to see a lot of bench players on the Bulls getting a lot of burn. I imagine with, Vucevic being beat up as he's been, Collins will probably get even extra minutes here. So I'm going to say get the higher than on his rebounds here against the Cavaliers.
Hey, where did Zach Collins go to college, Gummy?
He was a Gonzaga guy.
Oh, yeah. You don't say. All right. Sign up for their code MMASGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN. All right. Main event time. And it's for a belt. A KSW belt. That makes it convenient as KSW event. KSW Interim Middleweight Championship. Gumby. Why do we have an interim belt on the line?
Powell Pollack. I think he's injured. I see no reason why he wouldn't be defending it at this time. I have to imagine he's injured.
Okay.
But he's the champ.
Yeah. Okay. We got Piotr, Kuberski, versus Tomasz Romanowski, both from Poland. 5-minute rounds for the interim gold. Tell you about Romanowski first. Tommy, you can call him. 18-10 with 1 no contest, 7 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted twice. 9-3 in KSW. He has lost 2 straight. Before that, he won 5 straight. He's not fought since December 2023. He's not lost since January 2023. He's fought at 170, 2009 pro MMA debut, plus 300. Kuberski, Q-Bear, is 15-1 with 13 knockouts. He's been submitted once. 3-0 in KSW. He's won 12 straight, 6 straight via TKO. He's not lost since February 2019. He's regional champ, or was a 2012 pro MMA debut. 1-0 as a pro boxer. 5 inches height, 9 inches reach over Romanowski, minus 450.
Get this. I'm going to go dog. I'm going to go Romanowski.
You're crazy.
I know the height and reach make it feel wild, but like I actually think the height of Kuberski is going to be of Q-Bear, which I didn't know was his nickname until you said that. That's fantastic.
Q-Bear.
Which makes sense. It's Kuberski, or Kuberski is his last name, so that makes perfect sense. But I didn't know. Well, I didn't know that nickname, but I did know that his height can be a disadvantage to him sometimes. The big problem is if you watch the way he fights, he's used to being so much further away from his opponent that his chin is just dangling there. Like he's just begging to be knocked out, in my opinion. I keep watching his fights and being like, how has somebody not touched him? And you know, to his credit, he does fight long. He does do a good job of sticking the jab out there and sticking straights out there and keeping people out of his bubble and all that kind of stuff. But like Romanowski is a guy who, first of all, has like a nice boxing shell when he moves forward. He comes forward, really tight guard, protects himself really well, and then hits with some pretty hard and pretty fast strikes. I think the way that he closes distance and the way that he just like marches through whatever you're throwing, like, look, he is not going to be the better striker in this fight, but I do think with the way that Kuberski just dangles his chin out there, I think the chance that Romanowski touches it is high enough for me that I like him in this fight. You know, this is a guy who beat Ion Surdu. You know, like this is not a guy who has fought like a low level of competition by any stretch of the imagination. And last I checked, he was training with Szczepaniak, Oskar Szczepaniak, for this fight, which is like the perfect person to like work on range with, work on, you know, spacing with. So I expect Romanowski to just sort of march through that with Kuberski. This isn't going to be a fight card. I think that you're going to find a lot of props out there, but if I could find the Romanowski KO prop, I would be all over it.
All right, there you go. Let's give you a recap and get you some more bonus plays here. He's got Romanowski. It's a big dog to end things off for us. Szczepaniak, he likes that line as well. Woźniak, Różański, and Kazieczko. You know, that guy. Gumby, later on, that bang boom pow, let her rip.
Well, I'm going to give you that guy in this one too, because as good as I've been, or as good as I feel like I've been on these Polish pronunciations, this name, every single time I say it, it kills me. His name is Filip Stawowski. Stawawi. It's Stawowy. Stawawi. Is that Stawawi? Filip Stawawi. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Speech impediment. Stawawi.
Stawawi. But yeah, he is a plus 140 underdog against an opponent he's already beat. Opponent he recently beat. I don't know why that is. I mean, obviously, like I went back and watched the fight a little bit. He was losing in the first couple of minutes, but like, look, he won the fight. And he's a plus 140 underdog in the rematch. I like his chances to get it done again. So Stawawi will be my first one here. And then the other one I like is Adam Tomasik. This is one of those freak show fights that I told you about. KSW has come to love. We got a professional boxer in the fight who's 1-1. He's going to be up against the guy who loves to grapple and has pretty terrible striking in Tomasik. So we get to see Tomasik come in there and just try to take down a professional boxer and see how fast he can do it. He's only betting off at negative 143 that he can get it done. And let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of fights where professional boxers come over to MMA. It rarely ends well for them unless it's, what was it, Ray Mercer who knocked out Tim Sylvia? Do you remember that one?
Yes, yeah.
Ray Mercer. And I was live at Randy Couture taking down James Toney. That one was in Boston.
Lucky you.
Yeah, that was a pretty good fight card. That was headlined by BJ Penn versus Frankie Edgar 2, which was a pretty fun fight. Also, Nate Diaz on that card. This isn't why you guys came here. You came here for me to tell you that Tomasic is going to take down the professional boxer. And I think he's going to do it. -145 seems like a steal. So once again, that's Adam Tomasic and Philip Stawawi are my 2 lightning round plays.
You don't know why the people came here, Gumby. They might have came here to hear you say Stawawi.
Yeah, it could be here to write hate comments. They could be here to ask us about depositing crypto.
Yeah, exactly.
We get a lot of those
how to
comments.
make cocaine.
I don't think anybody asks that anymore, but it did turn up in our search terms one time, inexplicably. For people who don't understand that joke, one time we're going through our search terms to see how you guys find us. And one was just like how to make cocaine, and then one was something about grandmas. And we were like, I don't know how this is landing on our channel.
Hey, we'll take it.
Welcome.
Well, yes, welcome one and all. Thanks for checking out the episode. You are also all welcome in our Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. So check that out. As we mentioned, YouTube, we're at MMA Gambling Podcast. Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer. I have a Substack. I have a free UFC Pick'em running once again this week. Check it out. moneymma.substack.com. Gumby has Top Turtle MMA podcast. Probably dropping in your feed in the next day or so. Check out the exciting people he has on it this week. They're a mystery as of this recording. And of course, we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Madness is your code. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to get bonus content. And if you sign up for mybookie.ag or underdogfantasy.com, MMASGPN is your code. All right, we'll see you on tomorrow. UFC. Apparently, they're running a pay-per-view this week, so we'll be covering that the next 2 days for you. It'll be me, the Mad Queen, Jeff Fox, Honey Badger, Gumby. We'll talk to you later.